Today on Mastodon Sports, a pitcher comes back from injury, renovations at Bearfield, and can Snyder football repeat?
I'm Bryce Vance.
And I'm Aaron Stevens.
And this is Mastodon Sports. Today I sat down with an IPFW pitcher who is coming back from injury to talk about the process of getting back out on the baseball field. Aaron will show us how they're going to improve attendance at Bearfield Motorsports Park this year and the additions that were made during the past offseason. Later, we go to Snyder High School to see how they plan to repeat off last year's state championship title run. But first, I sat down with Drew Sebastian and IPFW head coach Bobby Pierce, pitching coach Grant Byerly, and assistant trainer Lauren Rayau to talk about the process Drew endured from his torn labrum.
In Drew's case, it was a pretty typical labrum tear, in which case it was in the posterior part of his labrum or the back.
The pain at first wasn't too bad, but after a couple weeks from when I first started noticing, my shoulder was a little off.
That injury and the type of injury it is, the labrum surgery, is kind of like a death sentence for a lot of pitchers. It's ruined a lot of careers.
Mentally, I was pretty worked up about it.
I was very disappointed for him. I know how hard he works. It was very disappointing, very discouraging for him, and for me to watch him go through that.
Started off by tried to rehab it to begin with. It's pretty tough surgery to come back from, so I spent 6 months of rehab, and then I ended up having surgery and then another 6 months recovery process.
We always tell them before they go into surgery, get as strong as they can because it'll make recovery on the other side a little bit easier.
After the surgery, it almost felt a lot better just because everything was tied down in there.
You're away from the club. As much as you try to be involved with the team, you know, the guy who's injured, he's watching the team play, he's watching us have success or fail. He has to do his rehab by himself or with an athletic trainer or a physical therapist.
He was doing pretty much the Throwers 10 program, which a lot of doctors use post-surgery. A lot of basic exercises, just a lot of range of motion exercises first, and then as you progress, you go on to the Throwers 10 program, which all strengthens the back of the shoulder.
I started off physical therapy 3 days after surgery. I couldn't pick up a baseball until 4 months. Then it was 2 months of throwing off the flat ground, and then about a month of throwing live bullpens before I could go back to live action.
He's down there every day doing something. Even if you tell him, hey, you don't need to do rehab today, he's down there stretching, or he's down there doing mobility work and just doing something.
And gradually it got better and better, which is encouraging. Stepping on the bullpen and then throwing all-speed pitches the first time just kept getting stronger and stronger. It was almost a sense of relief because all the times of self-doubt where I wasn't sure if I'd be able to come back, and it was 601 days between live collegiate appearances. First pitch I threw, I hit the guy. So it was kind of a sense of panic, but after that I was like, okay, I got this started and I can do this.
I was happy for him though. Just kind of got the monkey off the back.
I feel really confident heading into next year that he's going to be a major piece of our bullpen.
As we can see, the coaching staff, Aaron, is taking it easy on him. They're trying to ease him back into his injury, just so that he can get back to full form.
Yeah, and how is Drew's pitching number so far?
Right now, in this season, he's only appeared in 3 games, 3 2/3 innings, has about 4 strikeouts, has only given up 2 earned runs, so that's good. Back at community college, which is where the coaching staff hopes to see him come back to in his full form, he had 39 strikeouts and 37 innings of work, had a 4-5 record, so that's where the coaching staff really wants him to be.
And how's the team doing overall?
Overall, the start was a pretty good start, 8-1 in their first 9 games, and after those 9 games, they really kind of struggled. They ended up with a 13-19 record about midway point through the season. But these last 12 games, they've done really well, actually. They've won 8 of their last 12, beating teams like Western Illinois. They swept them, and they beat Butler, who is a kind of a powerhouse in the Big East Conference. But hopefully the season ends up pretty well.
Yeah, and so how are they in the conference so far?
Well, actually, at the beginning of the year, they were picked second to finish in the conference. Right now, they are in the bottom of the conference in 6th place. You need to be at fourth place to make the conference tournament. So hopefully they win some of these key games, these key conference games at the end of the year. They also have some very important non-conference games against Purdue. One is at Purdue and one is in Kokomo. And they're one of the special game that hopefully everybody can come out to is the Cancer Foundation game against North Dakota State. And at the end of the game, the guys will shave their heads.
Awesome. Well, Bearfield Motorsports Park closed in 2014 due to the decline in attendance and driver negativity. Dave Muzello bought the speedway and opened it back up in 2015 and is trying to rebuild the track's reputation.
They're bunched up in the back, coming out of turn 3, now out of turn 4, going down the front.
Bearfield Speedway was built in 1962. The track first hosted small go-kart racing until the track was constructed into a half-mile oval the following year. Over the next few decades, many big names in motorsports such as Bobby Unser, David Pearson, Bobby Allison, Buddy Baker, Darrell Waltrip, and Dale Earnhardt Sr. came to Fort Wayne and competed at the track. Since being built, the track has changed a lot. In 2013, the original go-kart track was remodeled, the scoring tower was replaced with a state-of-the-art press box and spotter stand, and they also remodeled much of the older buildings. The following year, the owner, John Rainey, decided to suspend operations due to the decline of attendance and negative comments. In late 2014, Dave Muzello bought the track and reopened it in 2015. He talked about the struggle with attendance not only for his track, but for local tracks around the country.
Back in the day when I was a kid, the place was always packed, but a lot of the racetracks were always packed. And I travel all over the country racing, so attendance has been down at a lot of racetracks. Comparing to what I saw last year at other racetracks, and then compare it to this racetrack last year, attendance was really high. So, but we still had some empty seats last year, but I looking forward to it that it shouldn't be empty this year.
Muzello has tried to bring people back to the track, but he said he is struggling to rebuild the track's reputation since its shutdown in 2014.
When you have a track that has a bad reputation, I mean, there's a track out in Oklahoma right now that's going through that more people jump on negative comments on Facebook than positive. We always try to post more positive, and if you respond to negative on any type of message board, everybody just jumps on the bandwagon, whether they even been at the track or not. So I just feel if you keep it positive, everybody will be positive. And we had more positive than negative last year on everything we did.
Muzello is excited for the start of the 2016 season because of promoting during the off-season and the new dirt track that will open this summer. He hopes to see more people out to the track this season. Bearfield changed the name during the off-season from Speedway to Motorsports Park due to the addition of the dirt track that was built.
Now, Aaron, what kind of cars are going to be racing on that dirt track, this new dirt track?
Yeah, they are going to have mini sprints. They're going to have wing, non-wing, and juniors competing. They expect to compete on May 10th. The track looks ready to go. Fans are excited, and so is Dave Muzello. He's really excited to open this up because dirt tracks are becoming a lot more popular in our local area.
Now, besides the dirt track, they have the original big track that has different dimensions in mile length and mileage. What kind of cars are going to be racing on those this season?
Well, you expect the Hot Six, which is the late model sportsman, modified street cars, the street stocks, mini stocks, and compacts. Those are usually ran every Saturday unless there's a special event. And fans love to see them, and they compete really well. A lot of drivers love coming to Bearfield and racing them.
Now, you're talking about the fans. They had a fan appreciation night, opening night for the season. What did all that entail, and how successful was it?
They actually had 33,000 fans show up to the track. It was great for the owner, and I think that he expects to see this the rest of the season, which is really good for the track because they haven't had that in a long time. So.
And that's really good to see. Hopefully it all turns out for the best. But there is added pressure and higher expectations that come with winning a 5A state title. But as we find out, this is familiar territory for Snyder football.
I will forever remember, walking into that offensive huddle as they're getting ready to take the field, and the confidence that the group, and especially the seniors, exuded as they, began to embark on what would be the defining drive of their careers.
1 minute. The hopes and dreams, the blood, sweat, and tears of a season on the line.
was awesome to watch and to be a part of, because of that senior class and those seniors led us to the ultimate prize.
Fast forward. As a community rejoices, the team looks forward to what's to come, beginning with losing their star quarterback, as well as the pressures of being on top.
Well, I think anytime you lose the leader of an offense, the quarterback who was a 2-year player, there's a void there that is important to fill. And every productive offense begins with the guy pulling the trigger. And so, but as the program works, it's the next guys, the next class of guys and quarterbacks that just like Isaac was when he was a rising junior, had to step in there and do the job. And it's certainly a very important responsibility because, the offense will be as productive as that quarterback allows us to be. Sure, they'll hear about defending state champions and do this, but those never supersede the expectations that we have in our family, in our program, about just showing up every day and doing your best, working as hard as you can.
So remember, Fort Wayne, when these stands are full next fall, this is Panther Country.
So as we can see, they lost a lot of key players, Aaron, but none more important than Isaac Stiebling, who led the team in passing yards and was second in the SAC for conference rankings for his passing stats. It's going to be really difficult to replace him at quarterback.
Yeah, and actually, there's some quarterbacks that could replace him. We have Hippenhammer, who is going to be a senior this year, and then we have Coppy, Jones, and Hobbert that are all three of them are juniors. Mm-hmm. So you got to think, even with that loss, you still got a good team for next year or two. I think that these quarterbacks are really good.
Right, and you mentioned Hippenhammer. He was the backup quarterback last season, doubled as the team's leading wide receiver. Also, another leading guy that was going to be missed this year is Dominic Scott, but they do have Money Woods returning. He was 5th in the conference for running, while Scott was 4th behind names like Amon Clark. But it's going to be really interesting to see how this team performs in conference next season.
Yeah, and I actually think that they can do really well. You got to think, not only did Snyder do well, but Dwenger, they did fantastic. They have a 14-win streak right now, and both teams are both 8-1 last year. I got to think that these two teams will be tough to beat next year in this conference.
Right, Dwenger went on to win the 4A state title. Dwenger did, and then Snyder won the 5A title. Other teams in this conference that is pretty deep, in my opinion, Carroll and Homestead, who just joined the conference last year. Lures, who just joined the conference last year. It's going to be really interesting to see. Like you mentioned, Snyder's only loss was to Dwenger, both coming in this season on still winning streaks, both winning the state title. But this conference is deep, but Snyder, I think, is one of the top-tier teams. Just based on point differential, they scored over 600 points last year, which is pretty amazing, outscoring pretty much everybody. And just the defense is going to be really key for them next season. Mm-hmm. But that's it for tonight's stories. But first, hey, Aaron, what did the dog say to the tree?
What's that?
Bark.
That's great.
That's it for us here on Mastodon Sports. For Aaron Stevens, Chris Reed, I'm Bryce Vance. Stay tuned for Mastodon Entertainment, the 14-minute and 30-second show.
Rachel, why so down?
I was trying to have a good time, but
what?
My dance moves, they're terrible.
I was just like you until I discovered Dance Craze! Dance Craze! Dance Craze!
Dance Craze? What's Dance Craze?
Dance Craze is the chewable pill that gives you the confidence to dance like no one is watching.
How does it work?
First, you grab your sleep container disguised as breath mints, pop one in your mouth, and chew, 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 so you can instantly dance, dance, dance all night long.
What kind of dance moves will I be able to do?
All kinds.
The sway and snap, Dance Craze. Thrusting, Dance Craze. The swimmer, Dance Craze.
Wow, that is easy. Get your dance craze today.
What is a mastodon's favorite sport? Squash. What? That's so funny. Anyway, I'm Audrey, and welcome to Mastodon Entertainment, the 14-minute and 30-second show. On this episode of Mastodon Entertainment, we have a comedy sketch called Valentine's Day, a mockumentary called PTA Dad and Innocence, the debut music video for Mars Royal. Stay tuned afterward for an interview with lead singer Rob Palance. Do you say warsh instead of wash? Well, you're driving me insane. And not just me. Watch the sketch Valentine's Day to see the consequences of your grammatically incorrect foolishness.
Hey, how's work?
Man, you would not believe some of the stuff these kids say.
Really? Like what?
Like this one kid tried to tell me that for all intents and purposes he should have passed.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, just take a second to think about what you're saying. Does it even make sense?
No, definitely.
So what you cooking?
Just getting ready for dinner tomorrow night.
What's tomorrow?
It's Valentine's Day. Dave. Dave?
Yeah.
Dave.
Sorry, what'd you say?
What do you mean?
What's tomorrow?
It's Valentine's.
Do you know why they call it Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it's named after the saint.
Sure, but saint who?
Saint Valentine.
Nope. No, that's wrong. It's Valentine. Tine. T-I-N-E.
That's a fork, Dave.
Tine.
So it's not named after the saint?
Yes. No. Yes. You're saying it weird.
I've been saying it the way I've always said it.
Well, that's wrong.
No, I think you're wrong.
I'm a high school English teacher. I know what I'm talking about.
You think you're better than me?
What? No, that's not.
Happy Valentine's Day. Be my one and only Valentine. My one and only Valentine. No.
So this is how it's going to be. How much time do you think you have left?
Okay, alright, okay, Valentine.
See, that wasn't so bad. Wait, where are you going? Sit down. Hey, let me get you something to drink. Want some milk? Tell me when.
Don't you love it when your sweetheart gets you flowers for Valentine's Day? I don't, because it's Valentine's Day. Really, people? Valentine's? And now for all you rad dads out there, let's take a look at this mockumentary, PTA Dad.
All right, so how long have you been the president of the PTA?
Gosh, feels like just yesterday. All right, folks, it's time for another wonderful meeting of ours. I know we're all happy to be here. I'm happy that you can be here too. I think we should start this off like we always do with the Pledge of Allegiance. Alrighty, let's stand up and place our hands over our hearts and begin. Gotta say the responsibility and just gonna have everyone there for me and just gonna hang on my word. It's gonna feeling their love. I just feed off their energy is what I feel like. But it can always be stressed. Money is something that we definitely need, and we definitely need to remember I need it. So I think you all appreciate that.
Do we need money? Could you go over that again? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I might not have been that clear with that.
I suck up to the head guy, and I sometimes take notes.
All right, what's the benefits of sucking up to the big guy?
He stops talking to me for the most part. Having him talk to anybody else but me for as long as I can is just so important to me.
But yeah, Andy and I, we go together.
No, I hate the guy. He keeps trying to take me on fishing trips. I just want to be left alone.
The open ocean. Well, that reminds me, I was kind of thinking about planning another fishing trip. How does that sound, kind of buddy?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to first start off with the topic of No Child Left Behind, that wonderful policy that we had implemented several years ago. As a very important reminder, I don't want any names to be addressed here, but with No Child Left Behind, students must be promptly picked up at 3. No exceptions. All right. So on to our next topic at hand. School food.
I'm 1 minute late to pick up my little girl, and they're all over me like I did something totally wrong. Can't believe it. And this whole thing with the hair, one hair, you get one hair in the food, and everybody loses their minds. I tell you, if you get one hair, it's a compliment. It's a compliment in my house to get my hair in your food.
Bullying is something that we will not tolerate here at this school. We want to make sure that our kids feel safe, secure, and safe. Safety should be the key priority here at the school, which is a very important and critical topic that our students feel safe. They kind of, topics arise as they go. Mostly I try to find issues and then bring them into the light so that way we can work together on them. As a team that I'm leading, that I can take the credit for. We need a lemonade drive. I think I hit on all the big important issues that we need to address here today. So I know we're only a few weeks into this semester, but I feel like we're really bonding together and coming together as people. So continued success for our students is a top priority here. So as always, I want to say a big thanks to you. And thank you for joining us. Thanks, guys. Look forward to next week. Go team!
Now transitioning to something far more depressing, here's a first-time look at the music video, Innocence, by Mars Royal. Grab your tissues, it's a doozy.
Her cell phone rings again, it's just another boy on the phone. Says what you're thinking, do you think that I could get you alone? She starts to wonder and her heart breaks for the millionth time. Then she says that's fine. But bit by bit her innocence starts to run away. It's just another day, 'cause innocence in her eyes tells the story of a heart that's broken, so ran away. But innocence, she's a brilliant work of art, a masterpiece that shines right through the mistakes. She wants to breathe again, wants to feel the sunlight shine on her face. She wants to feel again, break these shackles off and run away, and take back her innocence. He knocks one back again and stumbles, almost falls to the floor. Proud of his parents, friends all tell him that's what college is for. He starts to wonder if the pleadings of his parents were right. Then he says that's fine. But bit by bit his innocence starts to run away. It's just another day, 'cause innocence in his eyes tells the story of a life that's broken, stolen away. But innocence is a brilliant work of art, a masterpiece that shines right through the mistakes. He wants to breathe again, wants to see the sunlight shine on his face. He wants to feel again, break these shackles off and run away, back his innocence. We're all searching for something that can help us escape. But our hearts tell a different story, breaking forth to seize the day and take back our innocence. 'Cause innocence in our eyes tells the story of a dream that's broken, stolen away. But innocence, we're a brilliant work of art, a masterpiece that shines right through the mistakes. We need to breathe again, need to see the sunlight shine on our face. We need to feel again, break these shackles off and run away, and take back our innocence. So take back your innocence.
Welcome back. We're here with Rob Palance, the lead singer from Mars Royal. Thank you so much for being here today, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
All right, so I heard you wrote the song Innocence we just heard. Could you give me a little bit more information on why you wrote the song?
Absolutely. I had a friend that was dealing with an abusive relationship, and it just really inspired me, and I wanted to really delve into what the emotional impact of both sides of that sort of a relationship is.
That was really nice of you to do for your friend. So how do you guys find ways to stay successful here in Fort Wayne?
Well, we actually have a really vibrant music scene here in Fort Wayne, and what we've found is one of the keys to really succeeding with that is to partner with other bands, other organizations, things like that, to really make use of that broad community.
What other bands have you partnered with?
We've partnered with the Shutters, we've partnered with the Kickbacks. There are really a lot of great bands that we've played with over our time as a band.
Where do you guys usually play here in Fort Wayne?
We've played a lot at O'Sullivan's, we've played a lot at Skeletoons. CS3 is another great venue here in town.
Yeah, I was just talking backstage and I was like, I just saw a Mars Royal poster on at O'Sullivan's and you guys are awesome live.
Thank you. Yeah, we just played there a couple weeks ago.
Great band. So do you guys have any albums out?
We do not have a full-length album out yet. We do, however, have one single currently released. We have another one that is releasing in the next couple weeks. That's actually Innocence, the music video that you just saw. And those are the first two singles off of our new full-length album that we'll be releasing late summer.
And I heard you were telling me a little while ago that you guys are in a transition phase, that you guys are looking for a new drummer. So if any of you guys want to be a drummer, get hooked up with Rob. He can help you out.
Absolutely. Hit me up.
Well, where can we find more information on the band and your music?
Sure. Our website is www.marsroyal.com. We can also be found on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much any of the social media sites.
And what are your future plans and hopes for the band?
Well, I mean, like any band, we would love for the stars to align and, make it big, but honestly, we love what we do. We love our fan base.
Well, thank you so much, Rob, for being here today. Again, you can find more information on the band on their Facebook page. That's all we have for today's episode of Mastodon Entertainment.